Now, dear lovely YouTube watchers, the Archetypes guidebook by Krans. It's a lovely bendy book this. It's nice and easy to hold in your hands and it feels very soft. And it's got all these pictures. The pictures are in black and white and the writing has got some red print on it, which is a little bit demanding, you know. Demanding. The best way to learn about the archetypes is probably one at a time as they come up in the tarot. But for me, I feel like there were gaps in my information about this to be able to use them in the tarot readings. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one at the top of my tarot readings and then learn that one thoroughly, you know. So we've done the gem, talked about that one. We learnt about the Althea, the one with the black and white thinking. And black and white, we did that one. The gem we did already. And the empty room we've done. The comic we've done. Did we do the comic? No, we didn't. We didn't do the comic as much as we could have done. So let's have a look at the comic, shall we? I'm going to look at this comic and then I'm going to open some cards around this reading and see what comes up that matches the comic. We'll just see what comes up, shall we? This is an interesting process that we've begun. Now we've begun it, we can't really stop, can we? When should we give up on a project and recognise that it's not for us? Okay, that's going to be my question for the tarot cards this morning. After I've looked at these, I'm going to ask the question, when to let go. So the comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humour requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. The comic has plenty of shade to throw on others, and it can fall into shadow at the drop of a hat. Beware of their sharp claws. Yeah, hecklers beware. Joy, jokes and smiles are signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who leave the comic by the wayside. Hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing. Okay, so let's open the cards, shall we, and see which cards match this humour. See if they will match. We can find things to laugh at, can't we? In every situation. Where's your humour, dear lovely listener? Remember the humour. Think about it. If you go to a job interview, if you have a little laugh with people, and it's a way of breaking down barriers, isn't it? You know, it's one way of showing that you're on the same wavelength, because if you find the same things funny and amusing, you know that you're going to get on, and if you can do that, you're probably going to work well together. So let's not underestimate the power of laughter. And while I'm doing that, I'm just putting all my cards around the right way, because my cards lately have become so, I was going to say disshuffled, but I don't think that's a word. It's like as they get shuffled, more and more of them get put back the wrong way round. So every now and again, I probably should do this before every reading, but sometimes I like to see a reversed meaning come up. I should put them back round the right way. Whether you do this as a tarot reader, if you're learning tarot, it's up to you. It's your choice, isn't it? Each individual discard wants to come out, so I haven't got to shuffle those. Okay, now my favourite little pack of actual tarot cards is, at the moment, because I do go through phases of thinking, oh, these are the best cards. Like my Lightseer cards, I love my Lightseer cards because my friend had a pack and they were just so beautiful and they were new to me, so I loved the actual, you know, the pictures on them. But now I love this one, the Art of Tarot, because they're so easy to shuffle and they just glide out of the pack onto the piles that you create. They're just gorgeous, and they've got hearts all over them, and love, and people love to laugh. If people love to laugh and laughing makes people feel love, then what's not to like about that? You know, I know some people who are very, very witty and they can laugh and make other people laugh at their own misfortune. Right? Now, laughing at your own misfortune is an absolute gift of the highest order, I feel, because laughing when you're in a situation that doesn't require laughing, you know, if you have to laugh at situations, if you can laugh, then you're winning. You know, if you get a parking ticket and you can laugh about it, you're winning. If you can feel bubbles of joy bubbling up from your tummy into your heart and then explode out of your nose, or, you know, make you spit your drink out funny, then you're doing the right thing, aren't you? Right, I'm just gonna put these little cards, make sure they're all in order before I choose one. Yeah, they're all in order, that's great. No out of order cards. So what I'm going to do this week, and join me, dear lovely YouTubers, I'm going to find things to laugh at. How about that? You know, like when you're looking for coincidence, or you're looking for synchronicity, or you're looking to notice the black cat on your path, or you're looking to notice the coins that show up. Let's try looking at the funny side of things and looking for things to laugh at. I often say to the universe, come on universe, give me something funny, give me something to laugh at when I feel like I need to have the mood lightened, right? I say, give me something to laugh, give me something to feel joyous about. And I'm just going to quickly check these all up the right way round, because as beautiful as they are, then again, if you get a reversed meaning, if it's a serious meaning, then it's reversed, then that is the humour. We're looking for the humour in the tarot. That's what we're doing. We're looking for the funny side of everything. Now, sometimes when you're suffering or you're in the deep pit of despair, that's not the time to be finding laughter at things. But have you heard that phrase, the dark humour? You know, like the dark humour of the people who deal with dead bodies. You know, people that do the funerals. What is it called? Is it funeral humour? What are they called? Undertaker's humour? It is a thing that's well known that they have to have a sense of humour. Otherwise you would sink, wouldn't you? If you couldn't laugh at the job you were doing, whatever that job is, you would become so depressed that you wouldn't be able to do that job. And I think that happens a lot. I was reading a thing about this the other day, about people who are working in ambulance situations, working as paramedics, working with people at the end of their life. It can become so traumatic for them that they become suicidal, and it's so normal that everyone's feeling it, so no one thinks it's anything abnormal, because obviously it's normal as humans. This is what we do, that when someone comes to the end of their life or they're facing death, the idea is to be miserable about that and to be sad. And like, this is, you know, for one person who's missing them, for 2 or 3 people who are really close to them, that's an absolutely normal process of grieving to go through. But for hundreds of people who just knew them, and that feeling of, oh, it's another loss, right? We don't have to feel as if we're not allowed to laugh at a funeral. We don't. I know it is unacceptable to be laughing at funerals, but if you could have, although nowadays sometimes people do that celebration of life, if when you come to terms with the whole of your life and you recognise, and the sooner you recognise that, the more enjoyable life becomes, that life is going to end one day for all of us, right? We're all going to be in spirit one day. One day we're not going to be here. The sooner you can recognise just the, you know, the certainty of that, the easier the rest of your life becomes, right? Some people have got a massive fear of death. And like I say about the people feeling something bad about somebody else dying, those feelings that are triggered, like when you feel sorrow or you want to cry about it, you've got to ask yourself, are they really feelings about that person dying? You know, why is it that some people, like, you know, when some celebrities die, people are very, very upset and unhappy and sad, especially when they die younger. I mean, that is true, because there's a loss of what could have been, particularly when their potential hasn't been reached. And the younger they are, obviously the more there is to feel saddened by and about, of course. But what I'm asking you to do this week is to look for things that are funny, just really randomly, out of the blue, funny things and events happening in your world, because you've asked the universe for it. You've said to the universe, come on then universe, show me something funny, right, and see what happens. And when the unwanted happens, try and find the funny side of it. Do you know what happened to me yesterday? I'll give you an example. I wasn't finding this funny at the time. Went into a petrol station. There was a bit of a queue, bit of a jam, because it was busy in Southend / Lee on Sunday, the 3rd of July 2022. Car in front of me, there was a woman waving her arms at the pump and looking at me, trying to give me a message as if there's no petrol. So I got out of the car. I said, do you need any help? Because I saw her give up trying to get petrol out of a petrol pump, and she was going back to her car. So I got out of my car. I said, do you need any help? She said, the petrol pump's not working, it's stuck on 50. Like, it had £50 up from previous, like the last person that just put petrol in had left it on £50 showing. And normally what happens is the person behind the counter clicks the button, the money goes, or you can pay at the pump. I said, are you trying to pay at the cashier? She said, no, I want to pay at the pump. So I said, you click this button that says pay at pump, and then you put your card in. She goes, oh yeah. She goes, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Oh yeah, she said. And then I got back in my car. She took her petrol and she drove off. I pulled my car up. Do you know what happened? I put my card in. I let the petrol pump recognise my card. Picked the nozzle up. No petrol. She'd literally had the last bit of petrol that I'd helped her get. If I hadn't helped her, I would have had petrol. What's the universe trying to tell me? Now, I've been drawn to this lovely pink stone because at the heart of the matter is the beautiful, bright, friendly colour. And this is what happens with laughter. It increases the laughter and covers up the pain. It masks the pain. And this little cat who's wearing a party hat, this little cat looks like he's full of tears, and the laughter covers up the pain. And that is another common theme for people who use comedy and laughter to deal with situations. I pray to this angel when I need help in times of crisis. All feathers come from this angel. Okay, so when you need help in time of crisis, finding the humour in the situation, that would be a source of help. The Hanged Man. Look at this. Is this amusing? This person is hanging upside down by an ankle. When you're in this situation, could you find it funny? But look at all the lovely colours again. We've got the orange, the red, the blue, the yellow. Beautiful colours of this card. You let me know, if you was in this precarious situation, how easy would you find it to laugh at that? People are going to start thinking you're mad. This is the trouble, you see. If you start laughing at things which other people don't laugh at, people think you're mad. The Hermit card, this is time spent away from other people. A reminder that if you want to laugh as well, it helps to be around other people. It's not a solitary exercise, although we've got this elk, nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. Okay, you can afford to laugh because you've got the strength to overcome. Okay, 3 of Wands again, Another card of celebration. This is something to laugh at, something to enjoy. Page of Pentacles. Youngster having money, something to look forward to. And then look at this, the Two of Pentacles. Now in this card, the Two of Pentacles shows these lovely two little people being pulled along by these little creatures that have got horns. They look like little goats, don't they? It's a very unusual depiction of the Two of Pentacles, because normally the Two of Pentacles involves balance and, you know, juggling the books and financial worrying about the money. But this card shows the opposite of that. This card shows one person wanting to do all the work and one person wanting to do the romance and have a rest. Friendliness, there it is too. Again, the picture of the two. There's got to be more than one person doing this comedy and laughter. And we've got the friendliness of these colours as well. We're back to this colour pink and the yellow. That's lovely, isn't it? And focus. Oh, focus. Now that can be very hard to do for a person who likes to use humour, because the idea that you're going to find amusement in situations often involves searching 10,000 bits of information to come up with something funny about it, right? You have to delve into the depths of your memory banks and drag the information out. And focus requires you to hone in and pinpoint like a target. This bird of prey needs a target. They live for a target. They look for targets all the time. They look for their prey, don't they? Okay, so focus your energies on where you want to go. Oh look, the Magician. Now this card said within the Comedian there's the Magician. Let me just read what the Magician says from this pack. Okay, Magician, number 1. The Magician. Inventive, manifestation, true potential. You've got the spark. Creation is the name of the game. Whether you pour your energy into a new life cycle or creative project, this is a time of pulling in all your resources to manifest your desires. Your toolbox is complete with anything you could ever need, and if it isn't, the right tools will appear exactly when you need them. You are resourceful and constantly find innovative solutions to problems with grace and ease. The universe has your back and will provide you with power to manifest your desires in the external world. Infinite opportunities are available as you continue to flow. Be clear about your intentions and use them to fuel purposeful action. The more specific you are, the more you magnetize your creative energy and manifest magic. Claim your power. And here we are again with the specificness of what you want. Be specific. And the last little picture, oh lovely, the sun. Perfect, it's a positive outcome. That's beautiful, because the sun is a reminder of laughter, isn't it? Sun, how often have you heard that phrase? Oh, it's sun-filled laughter. Beautiful. And all the yellows of this reading, perfect. This Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles from the Lightseer's Tarot. The page, manifesting new opportunities. There we go again, manifesting these new opportunities. Beginnings, good news, ambitions, skills and training, financial opportunities, new career paths, new connections, exploration stage, a beginner, earth magic, making plans a reality. This page holds the mandala with a curious heart and roots into the bedrock to begin understanding the manifesting essence that we all hold. Remember when you thought you could be an astronaut? Go ahead and ground that energy before it dissipates. We activate practical magic with our hopes and we pull energy up from the earth to bring it to form. Progress happens one life stage at a time, and you must anchor into the details while simultaneously keeping your head in the clouds to dream. There may be pieces that still need to fall into alignment, but that doesn't mean that they aren't going to arrive. You're in the perfect place to figure out how to make your prosperity a reality. Seek confidence and dependability, and remember that you hold this power no matter where you stand today. New perspectives and upgrades of consciousness are on the way, so use your plans for the future and expedite its arrival. I can be practical and realistic and still run ahead to mimic my dreams. And this is the thing, isn't it, with the comic? And when you look at somebody who's amusing and being funny, you're missing the idea of the genius of that and their skills and their talents and what it's taken to get them there. They're not just funny, they're funny with a purpose, they're driven, they're focused, they're specific, they're capable. And laughter is just the part that you see. You don't see all the hard work that goes and the blood, sweat and tears that go into behind the work. That's lovely. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello, lovely YouTube watchers. I'm doing some readings today based on the question, knowing when to let go of something. Knowing when to let go. You know, sometimes you're not sure whether to hang on to something or you should let go of something. And the central card, the archetype around this information, is the comic. I'm using the comic today so that we can find things to laugh at when we're in the depths of tragedy and despair and we don't know what to do. The universe is asking you to remember the importance of laughter. Now, if in order for laughter to happen for you, you need to go and find a friend to do that with, then that's fine. Find someone else to laugh with. It often helps to have another person to laugh with, right? And I don't know why I've got this blue stone here. It's just appealed to me as part of this reading to have this blue stone, which also suggests a bit of healing. There's an element of healing needed. Now, when you look at people who use humour for a living, or even people in your everyday life that laugh their way over the pain, the laughter is masking the deep inner pain of the tragedy. You know, and like Shakespeare made a living out of recognising the comedy in the tragedy. He didn't make a living out of recognising that. He made a living out of being an amazing writer, an amazing prolific playwright, and having a fantastic way with words. And only Shakespeare could string sentences together which people are studying hundreds of years later, right? But as an art form, looking at human behaviour and looking at how we behave as humans, people do degrees in it, don't they? People are fascinated with humans and what we do to each other and how we treat each other. But for the person that's suffering and feeling the pain and knowing that they've got that inner intelligence that allows them to recognise the humour, if you've got somebody in your life that can laugh and still put a smile on their face, even though they're surrounded by look at this one, jumped out, the most dire of circumstances, you have got an intelligent, sensitive human on your hands who needs taking care of. Having a laugh about a ridiculous situation, and usually huge loss, people find things to laugh at, so they don't have to deal with or look at the reality or the pain of that situation, right? Now, I'm not saying that if you're in a dire situation, you should be laughing your way through it. That's just not an appropriate response, is it? And we think to ourselves, God, if you're laughing at this, then you've got something very, very wrong with you. Right? Your inappropriate laughter will get you locked up 9 times out of 10. However, there are some people who have the ability to find the humour in a gentle way, so it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, right? It's not laughing maliciously at situations. It's finding the humour as a way to help heal the pain. Like finding humour as a source of healing. And that's what I'm focusing on here, is knowing when to let go. How do you know? That's the question here, but it's just surrounded by this comedic card, the archetype of the comic. So all of these readings are going to be for people who often wear a mask in public so that people can't see the feelings and the emotions that they're experiencing, and they're being caused pain again often by other people, situations that they find themselves in, and they don't necessarily know not which direction to turn in, but what part of the problem to let go of. And this is, it's not just letting go of the whole problem, is it? It's just possibly letting go of part of the problem. Sometimes it's just letting go of the thinking about the problem. This card wants to come out. I'm going to put this on the card with the swords because this one seems to need the most healing. And I'm using the threes today. These little 3 cards that have got Italian symbols on. They came from Sardinia. And these little cards, the 3 of coins, the 3 of swords, and the 3 of cups. Now these are not tarot cards. These are playing cards, just your regular playing cards. And yet I really like the symbols on them. And they're simple. And we're just going to translate them how we see fit. And if guardian angels are watching us, they're going to be laughing at us doing that, because we are using our intelligence and creativity. You think about all the work that had to go into making these cards, these Italian cards, and for everything that had to happen for me to be in Sardinia and find them. And I've brought them back to you, dear lovely YouTube watchers. Now this card is going to be the most important card for these particular readings, because this is the card that lets you know what's holding you back. And the question is to know when to let go. It's not even necessarily to know what to let go of. The question is when to let go. And that's a very, very tough question, because time-specific questions for the tarot are almost impossible. So the answers to these questions are not going to be, oh yeah, 15th of August, right? The answers to these questions are going to be when X, Y and Z happens, when you feel like it, pretty much. When to let go. Okay, so there's a question about arguing. There's an argument to let go of. There's a question around money, and there's a question around emotions and an emotional situation. Whichever one you are you the person that's in the middle of an argument? Because I'm going to do this back first. Thanks for watching. See you in your reading. So, let's have a little look, shall we? What pile number 1? The 3 of Swords, the arguing. We're going to open all the cards and then see what the story is. I can feel this angel around me with its tranquil energy and sense of calm. Okay, so with any argy-bargy and arguing, there's always room for calm, and one person has to be the calm person, and this is going to be you, because you're the person that's going to find the humour in the situation, which is going to lead to, you've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. These are very powerful cards you couldn't ask for. If you was looking for happiness and peace and harmony, the 10 of Pentacles would be it. Even though this is not the money question, this is the arguing question. You've got the Hawk and the Messenger, the Knight of Swords, and Death of the situation. Okay, so the arguing's going to stop and you're going to win, not because you're arguing, but because you're not arguing. Okay, the person who stops arguing wins. Hawk, Messenger, Spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. You've got the Dreamweaver. Oh, look, this person's got her eyes closed. This angel. The Dreamweaver. The 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Look at this. Now this looks like the magician, but with a sword. He's pulling a sword out of the hat. The same way this Ace of Wands. He's literally got a wand here, but he's pulling the sword out of the hat. You are the person. And this one, he's carrying a sword as well. So there's a lot of sword wielding going on here. The Two of Swords is proper arguing, isn't it? Oh, it's so distressing for a person who it makes unhappy. Look, this is you, the Moon. This is what is upsetting you. This is what is holding you back, and you don't know. It's really upsetting you. It's really making you feel like, what is the point of you being on the? What is the point of you being on the planet? Like, why are you here when this mess that you're in isn't worth being in? Now, the Seven of Pentacles says that there's work that you're doing that you're not happy about. You want to be changing your work, but you're surrounded by so many large characters that seem determined to drag you into their angst, that it's making you feel worthless. Because this card, when it's the right way up, it says you know your place in the world, you know the universe looks after you, is the source of your energy, and you allow yourself to grow by recognising your spiritual nature. Upside down, it says that the material concerns are just all too much for you. You've lost touch with your spiritual connection and you don't know which way to turn. Looking at this, the Moon card comes up for deep psychological inquiry of your own mind. Now, that's absolutely pointless trying to look at the psychological state of these other people that like arguing. Whatever their reasons are for having this argument, it doesn't really need to have anything to do with you. And this Dreamweaver, you notice you've got a lot of oranges here. It's the oranges for the warmth and love and passion. So there's a very passionate argument, which is a very powerful argument. But for you, you are capable of bringing in a new set of information to yourself by starting to build it now. Think in your dreams that what you want is harmony, and you want everyone to get along, and you want there to be a really joyous experience in life. You don't want this miserable existence that you're surrounded by. And in fairness to these people that are doing the arguing, right, this is their nature, they do the arguing. This person loves arguing. This person loves arguing with someone else who loves arguing. But it's going to be over. The arguing is going to be over. The Death card says it's going to be over. Okay, so that you can have a bit of peace and calm and tranquility. Now, in fairness to them, let's just leave their arguing with them and recognise how it's affecting you and how you are letting it affect you. Okay, because that's the only part you can work on. You can't work on changing them. You can't work on getting them to stop arguing. You can't work on solving their differences because they like arguing. This is what they're doing. This is why they're doing it. Okay? And it doesn't matter. Just when you think they've stopped arguing, they'll pull another argument out of the hat. Like this, there's never-ending arguments. Okay? There's another argument because it's not about the arguing. It's about the power imbalance between these people. Everyone wants to play for the power and the control. And some people just like that level of angst. They enjoy that they're used to that. They think that's normal, and they don't necessarily even notice that it's upsetting you and that you're over here being unhappy. And the truth of that is that for you to change this situation, the only thing you can change in this situation is what you're doing. And so for you, with this Dreamweaver and with this Messenger, right, the options are for you to improve your lot by focusing on what you do want, having a balanced response to what they're doing, not being triggered by this arguing. Put yourself on the other side of the argument. Okay, you can't please everyone. You can't be on both sides of the argument. What you can do is pretty much keep yourself to yourself and keep your ideas to yourself and keep your new dreams to yourself. And know that this is going to come to an end. This unhappy work and this feeling unhappy because of this can change. You can change this. Even if you can't make it so that you're at one with the universe and happy again, you can shift it so that it's neutral and it doesn't trigger you. So you can practice not being less bothered by their arguing. And if anyone wants to draw you into their argument, you just have to put your hand up, you know, to speak to the hand, because the face isn't listening. I'm sorry, I'm taking a breather, I'm taking some time out, I don't want to be part of this argument. And I know how hard that is when there's this emotional pull and you're feeling as though you're responsible for other people feeling happy. You're not responsible for other people feeling happy, because they don't care that you're not happy about this arguing. They just carry on arguing because that gives them a sense of satisfaction and gratification. Okay? Whereas you over here are really suffering more than they are because of the arguing, because you really dislike the arguing. Okay, so you just recognise that you stay on your little rock, stay on your crystal, pray to the moon, do some meditation, have some healing, spend some time on your own dreams and your own thoughts and feelings about what you want. Ask your guardian angels for calm. And if you want to send love and peace and calm their way, that's all you can do. Just ask your guardian angels to send calm to the situation and watch it end. And then, when you've had this breather, you can stop and look at what you're doing in the universe and the work you're doing, and if you can change this, but not until you feel better about the whole arguing situation that's happening around you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello, dear lovely YouTubers. Now, the question is when to let go. Or the question is, actually, how to know when to let go. It's not even when to let go, it's how to know when. How to know when. Okay, how to know. So one of you has got an emotional situation that you can let go of, or not let go of. One of you has got a financial situation to know when to change or not change. The card that we're using is the comic, the archetype, the comic, mainly because we're learning about the archetypes, and this person I'm doing this reading for is a person who covers up their feelings, often using laughter to mask the pain and the misery and the unhappiness that's going on the inside. Let's just see what card comes up for this financial question as to how to know when to let go, or if to let go even. Let's just see what comes up. I can feel this angel whispering in my ear, telling me that the universe will always help me. Okay, so little person has got this financial question, situation. Oh, the star again, perfect. This card suggesting that you can link with spirit and have information brought to you, and this card reminding you that you're the person that's got really good a link with your intuition. Your intuition is very, very strong. That's lovely, that star card, isn't it? The Queen of Swords. Oh, you're the person that's still preparing for a fight, somebody who's ready for a fight even though the fighting is over. You don't need to be quite so aggressive in this situation. Oh, look at this wonderful white feathered swans again. We've got the white feathered angel, we've got this person in white, and we've got the swan. Grace, you who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Wow, that's a lovely card, isn't it? The spirit of beauty. Now this Queen of Swords has the spirit of beauty, but she's still got her hand on her sword ready for a fight. Three of Wands. You've got the Queen of Cups, Queen of Emotions, and the moonlight meeting with another little fairy with the white wings and the prickly hedgehog. The prickly hedgehog. You've got the Nine of Pentacles, which again is the importance of the money. Money makes you happy. You know, they say money doesn't make you happy. People who say that are people who've got money. Of course money makes you happy. This is the Fool, starting something new. This is the Lovers, which is the choice. The choice. It's not always. Oh, look, and this is what's holding you back. Right, this is the card. Remember I said at the beginning of these pile shuffling, in this question, how to know when to let go, this is going to be the card that's telling you what's holding you back. And in this instance, it's change, but it's in reverse. It suggests to me that you don't like change, and you don't want change, and actually what you're scared of is the change. So there's a choice of two paths, okay? Choice of two options to know when to let go. Is it clear that you're going to know when? Okay? When you're feeling graceful, when you're not feeling the fear of change, okay? So you're the person that's bringing these fears about. See, the Queen of Swords, she's got her hand on her sword and she's all ready for a fight that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to move the change card there. Sorry, the choice card next to the change card. Okay, because it is like you want to change, you want things to change, you're asking these questions because how do you know when is a good time? Well, when your inner person is no longer holding on to a sword and is ready for a fight, and your inner person is feeling at peace, your inner person is recognising that her feelings sometimes are not always in her best interest. So if you're feeling fear and you're fearful of change, it's a completely natural state to be in. That, you know, anticipation, a little bit of doubt, but there's a difference between feeling a little bit like an intrepid explorer and always being scared of meeting a hedgehog when actually you're just going to meet the fairy. Right? It's like, oh, look, this little hedgehog that's all prickly, this is the Queen of Swords, all prickly, ready for a fight at any minute. If she goes out and looking at new paths, she might stumble upon an unexpected fairy on her path, right? Now, if she hadn't gone out and tried the new path or looking for something different, she never would have found that fairy. She would have missed that meeting completely. Now, you're the person that has to decide how important meeting fairies is compared to your security of your financial situation. It's there for you if you want it. If you want to try something new, there it is. But the question as to when to know to let go is when, instead of feeling like you're ready for a fight, you're actually feeling like the Queen of Cups. So when you've smoothed over your prickly edges and you've stopped being like the prickly hedgehog, that's when you can move forward, and you've got the Three of Wands. So you're the person that can make this happen. You're the person that can make these choices, and when you do it is when you've got over the fear of change. When you've recognised, oh, hold on a minute, all these negative emotions that I'm bringing up just around the panic of the idea of, oh, I don't know when to do this. You've got to stop and soothe those thoughts and feelings so that you're ready to move forward with change. So that the person who moves forward in the change is a calm, centred person who's making their own moves and they know what they're doing. Of course, you haven't got a crystal ball. You don't know what's going to happen. Is that what you're scared of? You're scared of the unknown. Ask yourself, what are you scared of? If it's worse than that and you're scared of losing everything, you're scared of giving up your security, you've got to check that. Check whether it's actual real fear or fear of an unlikely event. Are you unlikely to lose everything? What is the real likely thing to happen here? Is it just a fear that's irrational, that you're clouding your own experience with? Or is it a real genuine possibility and a risk? And this is what you need to ask yourself. Are you really facing a terrible event that needs a sword? Or are you facing a little fairy, little light-hearted things that can come your way? There's nothing you can't cope with or handle. And your angel is whispering in your ear, telling you that the universe will always help you. Okay, but the question of when is when you've soothed the Queen of Swords and you've moved into being the Queen of Cups. That's when. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hello to lovely YouTubers. We're down to this last reading, the Three of Chalices. This is an emotional question, and it's the question of when. Do you know when to let go of a situation? And this blue stone is letting us know that there's lots of different pathways that you can take. Okay? The question is when you should let go. It's not if. It's a question of how will you know when. And the red, yellow and green, look at this. The red, yellow and green. It's a reminder that your external colourfulness is masking a lot of pain. Now, I will summon this angel by achieving my ambitions and pushing fear aside. Okay? No fear. Achieving ambitions. The Page of Wands. Look at this. This is somebody who's trying to deceive. Bearing in mind this was an emotional card. And people do like deceit, don't they? I don't know why. The High Priestess. This is you. This is you knowing, really knowing in the depth of your soul what the situation is here. Uh-oh. In reversed. Power. So this is feeling powerless. It's the opposite of this card. This card is saying I honour my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up. I will succeed. Well, this is in reverse. Okay, so you've got to be honest with yourself about where the deceit is. Is the deceit coming from someone else to you? Are you closing your eyes and being blind to the reality of what someone else is offering you? The Eight of Wands. You're more than capable of taking steps forward in your world. Remember, this is the question of when will you know? When will you know? It's not just you, there's someone else involved that's causing problems, and there's the new beginnings. Okay, so there's a new beginnings card if you want it, and you're the person that knows, but you're not using your intuition as much as you could. Because how will you know when? When you start listening to your intuition and trusting your feelings. That's you. Here's the witch that says she's at one with nature. She's at one with her little universe and her little world. Does she want to know the truth? Well, here's another lady on her own, looking at the gravestone. Look at this. It's the 13. It's the end of. So you know that the end of something is coming. How will you know when? That's the question. How will you know when? And here's the Seven of Wands. Right, so you will know when. This is what you don't want to do. This is upside down for you. This is the card that's really letting you know what is stopping you. It's the letting go. You literally got the letting go in reverse card. You don't want to let go of what you see as a benefit and something that's good for you. So you're happy to close your eyes and be blind to deceit because you don't want to let go of something which feels as though you need it, because you're scared that you're going to be on your own. You're scared of missing something. So there's something still growing that you've got your heart set on. This is going to grow and come to fruition, and you're going to succeed. And it's almost like you're determined to make this work. Now only you know, and this is the truth of it, only you know what the level of deceit is that's gone on, and only you know how to open your eyes and confront the situation, and whether or not it's best to say nothing and work in the background and keep going with what you are doing as a way to move forward. But this question is not should you let go, because this is what you're not doing. Not should you let go. The question is, when will you know? Okay, so you will know when it naturally comes to a conclusion. So it's either going to naturally die or it's going to naturally grow. In this situation, you don't have to do anything. So when will you know? You will start seeing shoots of growth towards change and where you want to go, or you will start seeing the roots die and the death of that situation, and there will be no path open that's an option. So you will, when will you know? When you have got no choice, when all the choices are gone, you will know. So at the moment there's choices. So you can make the choices now. That's your choice if that's what you want. Or you can wait for the natural cycle of nature to bring a conclusion to it. So you won't need to let it go, pretty much. You don't want to let it go. And in fact, you don't need to let it go. A lot of people would have let go by now. But you don't have to let it go if you don't want to. Because even if you don't let it go, if it's not meant to be happening, it's going to die. And if it is meant to be happening, it will flourish. But what your guardian angels want you to know here: I will summon this angel by achieving my ambitions and pushing fear aside, is for you to just keep going at working on what's right for you, okay? Because this upside down card is asking for you to never give up, and it's upside down, so it's letting go isn't giving up, okay? That's what that's what this message is saying. For you to have success doesn't mean that you can't let go. The two things are synonymous, right? Letting go doesn't mean failure. Giving up doesn't mean failure. And it's your choice. So if you're just going to wait and wait and wait and wait, when will you know? You will start, it will become clear. It will become clear and obvious by things and events that are going to happen. So then you will know which way to go. That's how you will know. But letting go isn't failing, and not letting go isn't failing either. Not letting go, you can't hang on to something that's not meant for you. So if you're hanging on to something that's not meant for you, it's going to go anyway. And equally, if something's meant for you, you can't miss it. Okay? So by letting go emotionally, letting go mentally, and just coming back to yourself and focusing on what you're doing, where you're going, how you're being in the world, focus on building up your inner strength. Everything else will become clear around you. You do you. Lovely, thanks for watching. Bye for now.